What's poppin', everybody? This is Saber054. Once again, we're going to be looking at the 8 most expensive cards from EX era sets, and today we're covering the 4th set, EX Team Magma versus Team Aqua. This is a really nostalgic set to me because I played my first Pokemon games with cards from this set. Like, I literally learned and played Pokemon TCG with cards from this set that I didn't even own. But that's a story for a different time. The criteria for the rankings are going to be the same as before. We're looking at PSA 10 cards, the highest grade, highest condition, most expensive price, and of course we want to aim for the most recent sale to be accurate in our prices. Many of these cards don't sell or didn't sell in 2023, maybe even 2022. But the idea is we want to look at the most recent sales, if possible. So here goes. For number 8, we have a cool card. Team Magma's Houndoom. Its most recent sale was in January 2023 and it sold for $472. So quite the cool card. I mean, all of the cards like the Team Magma, Team Aqua cards just look cool because of their design. Special layout design exclusive to these cards, especially Team Magma. I just love the design so much. To be honest, I don't really remember if this card was any good. I would have to check on Jason Klaczynski to see if he has any decks featuring it. But I'm pretty sure it's just there because it just looks awesome as a holographic card, you know, dual type. Houndoom, a fairly popular Pokemon, and it just looks cool. That's pretty much it. I mean, on average, I would say that Groudon, Team Magma's Groudon and Team Aqua's Groudon are possibly more expensive. But you got to keep in mind a card like this has lower pop. So for anyone that really wants to get it in PSA 10, it's going to be a bit harder. It's probably not going to go in auctions as often. So that's Houndoom. For number 7, we got a Team Aqua Pokemon this time. Team Aqua's Sharpedo. Another holographic card from this set. Also looks very, very cool. This one is kind of easier to use, I guess. I mean, it has the rage attack, so if they hurt it, you're going to do a lot of damage. Aqua Slash just does 60 for 3. And then this dude can attack next turn. But I mean, it's fine. It has free retreat, so you can just move it out of the way and attack with somebody else. But nobody cares about that right now. People want to know the price. And the most recent sale for it was in 2022, actually, December. So it's been a while since then. But it sold for $511.10. So once again, the logic is kind of similar with Houndoom. I would once again say that other cards like Kyogre and Groudon from the set are more valuable in general, but because it was 2022, it was a while ago, cards were more expensive back then. It was when they started to slow down, but it wasn't like in 2023 now where they're just at the bottom completely. And it's that low pop. It's the type of card that not everybody grades. There's not too many PSA 10s around. So the person that really wants to get it might just pay more money. I don't really remember if I own this. I know that I do own a Houndoom and it looks really cool in real life too. This, I think I might own one. I'm not too sure, but I know it looks beautiful as well in person. Moving on to number 6, speaking of beautiful cards, this card shits on probably almost all of the cards here. We got Absol, beautiful holographic card, majestic Pokemon, iconic artwork in many ways for me. This is actually a box topper card. I'm pretty sure this, if you buy like a Team Magma and Aqua booster box, this is your box topper. It's either this or a Jirachi card. I don't know if it's a secret and you just pull it from the pack, but I'm pretty sure it was this in Jirachi. It wasn't just Jirachi. This was a chance for a box topper too. Most recent sale was in 2023, January once again, $710. That's pretty respectable. Expensive ass card, no doubt. It really deserves it if you ask me. It's just simply beautiful. I think it might be the most expensive Absol card from the era, and in general, I mean, Absol didn't get too many special cards. I don't even think Absol Prime will be more expensive than this, but who knows. Unfortunately, it's not very good playability-wise. The feint attack is pretty much 30 damage snipe for 3, and that's not very good, especially because if you're going to do this and hit something on the bench, you're not going to get the bonus of special darkness energy. So that's kind of shitty. Gorgeous card though. I'm glad I got it when I did. Not in PSA graded, but just as a regular card. Regular versions of this are probably expensive as fuck either way now. Then we go to number 5, Mr. or Mrs. Sepital EX. Most recent sale was once again January in 2023. I'm starting to see a trend here, like a lot of sales are in January. Anyway, I digress. And it sold for $810 rounded. So I think by now you probably guessed if this is over here, the other starters from Hoenn are going to be higher. And you guessed right. It is, I guess, less popular than Blaziken and Swampert. I think the grass Pokemon in most gens is just less popular for some reason. I like Sepital. I mean, I'll admit the other cards, I like them more. Artwork-wise too, this isn't the greatest Sepital. I talked about this card, I guess, recently you could say, in my top 10 Sepital cards video that I've made. Even though it was Sepital EX, it wasn't very good. I mean, about the best thing on it is the slash and strike attack, and you need a lot of support and setup to make use of this attack. I mean, Jason Klasinski has a deck with this and a bunch of other Sepitals on his site, but it's listed as a deck that it's not going to be easy for you to make it work. The double weakness is also annoying. I mean, it wasn't necessary for this card or Blaziken to have this. Nevertheless, it's still an expensive card. I mean, $800 is a lot, and this is a fairly recent sale at the start of the year, I guess. So you have an idea of how much it's going for. One of the Hoenn starters at the end of the day, the original Sepital EX. It earns its spot at number 5 at least. Then we have a legendary Pokemon at number 4, Raikou EX, one of the legendary dogs, legendary beasts, cats, whatever you want to say. This card is also very, very cool. Most recent sale was in February 2023. Sold for $920. Goddamn. So, more expensive than Sepital. That's why it's here. And a pricey card for sure. This card might just be even worse than Sepital competitive-wise. But, I mean, nobody gives a fuck about competitive. Beautiful card. Holographic EX. Raikou. Looks really great in real life too. What else should I say? It's a collectible. I suppose if you really want to use this, you could with Dragonite from Delta Species, getting that lightning energy acceleration, but just because you can use it with that card doesn't mean you should. There were better attackers to utilize that card. It's nice to see Raikou this high though, because it is my favorite of the Beast Trio from Gen 2. Then we got some more obvious cards. We got Swampert EX at number 3. Most recent sale was in 2021. That was quite a while ago. And it sold for $1,350.39. Now, this was a while ago, I know, but it's the most recent sale. It was a lot of money. What else can I say? It's Swampert. This card did actually have, I think, a win or a top. No, I think it was a top. It wasn't a win. Top 4 for the World Championship 2004 or... Yeah, 2004. Actually, no, I think it might have been 2003. Anyway, I'm not sure, but I know that it got like a top 4, but in the junior division, it was this Swampert EX with a regular Holo Swampert that gave you water energy acceleration, and then you basically had a deck. I remember covering it when I did the top 10 Swampert cards way back in the day when I used to make bad videos in terms of quality. It's an okay Pokemon. The Crystal Guardian Swampert is better, I'd say. Same goes for the Sepital actually in that set. But it is the original Swampert EX. It has the fighting type on it, which is cool. Something you don't see all the time with Swampert. Most of the time they do print him as a water Pokemon. So this is unique. It also only has one weakness, I guess, to better mimic its game counterpart. In the video games, only weak to grass. So that's better. And that's it. Swampert at number 3. As cool as it is, there's even one more card that's, well, 2 more cards, but One starter that's more expensive and cooler in terms of cards. My boy, my girl, fucking Blaziken EX. So the difference between these two cards, I mean, it's night and day. Most recent sale, once again, 2021, February. This card sold for $3,083 for a PSA 10 copy of this card. Amazing. So just to avoid any misunderstandings, my favorite starter of all time is Mudkip. It's the Swampert line. But for cards, I've always preferred, or I just always dig the Blaziken cards, and this card is a big reason for it. Blaziken EX, this card, it looks so cool, beautiful in person. It was super competitive and iconic. You use this with the Energy Acceleration Blaziken from Ruby and Sapphire. This card could do 100 damage snipes all day, kill things like Pidgeot in one shot, just severely damage any Pokemon. And unlike Sepital and Swampert, I mean, it was really strong. It has that shitty double weakness like Sepital, but because Volcanic Ash was so strong and it synergized so easily with the other Blaziken, it became very competitive and very iconic. I have to confess, I seriously thought this card was gonna be #1 when I was making this video, but when I was collecting the data, I realized it's not the most expensive card anymore, or maybe things are gonna change, who knows. This sale was in 2021 after all. But if we're gonna be fair and objective, the #1 has to go to Suicune EX. I think it's fair to say Suicune out of the Legendary Beast trio from Gen 2 might just be the most popular of the three, the bigger favorite, I guess. I mean, it got its own game. It's also had more movie appearances, I think. I remember it at least from 2 movies. But anyway, here's the reason why this card is #1. Most recent sale was in May 2023. $3,000 fucking dollars. And then I did some extra research and compared it with Blaziken too in 2021. There was a sale going over $4,000, or at least $4,000 I've seen. So no matter how you see it, I mean, it's ahead of Blaziken, as much as it pains me to say it, because I think Blaziken is the cooler and a more beautiful card. Other buyers would disagree, I guess. I don't really remember what it does, and I don't think it would be that good. I mean, Water EX 100 HP, the stats are kind of standard. The attacks, I don't think they'd be that good, but I think it's 50 for 3 attack. It does damage, and then you can return energies to your hand to do more damage, but you can't do more than 20 damage, I think, so it's gonna max out at 70. Nevertheless, collectability wise, it is the most expensive card from EXT Magma and Team Aqua, and it secures its spot at #1. Now, before I end the video, I want to give a quick asterisk and disclaimer. If you guys were paying attention, both Raikou and Suicune made it somewhere on the list, but NTEX got left out. Isn't that strange? So NTEX, if I remember right, if we were doing a top 10, it would make it at #9. I believe the most recent sale was around $400 or maybe 430. I don't remember, but I think it would make it at either #9 or #10. But that doesn't matter. What I want to stress is that the most recent PSA 10 sale was from 2020, I believe, not even 2021. So there haven't been really any NTEXs at PSA 10 selling at auctions and just selling in general. So do keep it in mind. I mean, if you have a way to get this somehow, I'm not quite sure how much pop there is around. However, I do think, I mean, it should be obvious. If this went on sale at PSA 10 now, or even 1 or 2 years ago, I think it would be pretty high. I mean, it might be up there with Raikou, maybe even more expensive. I mean, it is a very beautiful looking card, and out of the 3 actually, I think it might just look the best, but maybe Suicune still looks better. But it would definitely be more expensive, I think, than a lot of the cards on this list. Like, it would be at least up there with Sepital, at least. So just thought I'd mention this as an honorable mention, because it really hasn't had any recent sales at all for PSA 10. You know, in 2020, this was before cards started to jump like crazy. So it was just around before the craze started, it missed the craze. Otherwise, it possibly would have sold for thousands of dollars like the other dogs. Okay, now that I got this out of the way, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share the video with your friends. Let me know what is your favorite card from this list, or if you think other EXs or other cards from this set were cooler. Other cards for me would be Cradily EX, kind of a forgotten Pokemon, but it did get its only special card in this set. It's not going to compete though with shit like the starters and then the Gen 2 legendaries. Jirachi is another card that sort of came close. It would have been in the top 10 if this was a top 10. And Groudon and Kyogre would be other expensive cards from this set. Let me know what's your favorite. I've been Saber 054, and I'll see you guys next time. Wazzay!